of intellectual property. Someone else very extensively deal with that. Just I want to mention now, intellectual property and cyberspace is having a good interface, because online we can have good lot of copyrighted material like music, movies, books. So if the creators, these creations is taken someone or tampered or without paying properly, they utilized it, obviously the creator is not getting incentive throughout that. Yes, I admit that access to knowledge or access to information is the questions, but at what cost, under what circumstances, we need to consider that also. It is, if it is not for the academic purpose, if it is not for the research purpose, just based on that, I mean giving that excuse and someone is stealing someone else's creation, it is a serious injury to the financial benefit of that person. So intellectual property theft is very complicated by state sponsored hacking, especially China. According to a New York Times article, Chinese hackers have stolen product blueprints, manufacturing plans, clinical trial result, pricing documents, negotiation strategies, so other proprietary information from a large number of commercial entities in the United States. So it is not related with only the creation like movies, books or music, it is related with serious business. So based on anyone else idea, anyone else strategies, anyone else is trying to gain something. According to the FBI, preventing intellectual property theft is a priority for its criminal investigation program. More commonly, cyber criminals access entertainment intellectual property such as movies, music and books. They try to protect that. Eventually, now we can see when anyone is going for the undue download, there is a notification from DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. So they can indicate you are not allowed to do so because it is coming under the illegal activities. I have already discussed the denial of service attack and distributor denial of service attacks in the previous module, module 16 in details. So I am not going to details, please go through those lectures and slides, but just briefly I am telling that denial of service attack is just barring anyone to get the service uninterrupted. Through the Trojan horse or malicious content, they just interrupt any smooth proceedings. Maybe it is related, mostly it is related with business conferences, video conferences, any discussion. So they are just popping up with I mean erratic messages, or they just create a number of users which is not allowed. So they are interrupting the business communications, which is very much needed for the business house for their own development. So there are certain examples I have cite here, that according to the recent report in New York World, several online gambling sites are attacked in January 2014 by DDoS, distributed DOS, which is using a new type of assault called New York Times protocol amplification attack. The criminals exploit the publicly accessible NTP servers for accomplishment of this kind of attack. NTP servers are manipulated to produce and attack traffic for some specific target. In the year 2012, all major banks and other financial companies in US were attacked by DDoS. Victims corporations included Bank of America, Wells Fargo, US Bank, JP Morgan Chase, SunTrust, PNC Financial Services, Regions Financial and Capital One. The attacks have effectively cut bank customers off from online services for extended periods. Now come to the cyber terrorism. We know 2001 incident, and US is now stating that this is a part of cyber terrorism. 2001, we know that World Trade Center attack by terrorists. So in the year 2001, US faced a vigorous terrorist attack. It's a very symbolic terrorist attack. Till now we used to remember. we try to combat with the terrorism, and this is the one important incident. So after that there is another apprehension of attack, that is the anthrax attack, when the spores of anthrax had been sent by post with intention of spread of anthrax disease in the country. So bioweapon, bioterrorism, and as well as terrorism related with the cybercrime is now very much prominent in today's world. Fraud by virus attack. In January 2012, the Citadel Trojan virus had been introduced in the mobile channel. The Citadel Trojan was one of the most advanced Trojans of commercial banking system. It was programmed to utilize the mobile channel and for cross-channel attack, through which criminals could overcome the mobile based out-of-band authentication, such as one-time password which is given to the consumer while doing the online payment. So we have a best security through the one-time password. So we are thinking no password is stored and they cannot utilize it. Even they are taking the cookies, then also they cannot utilize it, because I am getting a new one, at that time it will be utilized. But here the program is such a manner they can tamper that also. So one-time password is also not the safe. So as a result of the Trojan attack, the criminal get access to the user's banking account details and can interfere or manipulate their transactions. Now cyber stalking. I have said earlier also, cyber stalking is a very serious offense, because cyber stalking is mostly related with the teenagers, mostly related with the very young persons, maybe just employed, or the adolescent even. So it's a very much depressing type of cyber crime. Sometimes it indulge suicide, sometimes it's indulge the psychological disorder. So cyber stalking is very important to know. Cyber stalking involves following a person movements across the internet by posting messages on the bulletin board frequented by the victim, entering the chat room frequented by a victims, constantly bombarding the victim with emails, etc. One incident I want to say regarding cyber stalking. On the bulletin board, someone one photograph they have posted with the phone number and with the details. That lady start getting emails and in number of phone calls. It was written that I am freely available. Think about the mental trauma from her side, how she was humiliated by good lot of people. So this is the one incident which is very much important to know, and the intention to harass any people. So knowing the telephone number and address and email address, anyone if follow one person and utilize all this information in this manner, it can be dangerous for any private entity. Now new technologies in cyber world. Cloud computing. Cloud computing is the use of computing services over the internet. Cloud computing allows the individuals and the business houses to use the software as well as hardware managed by third parties at a remote location for storage of data. It does also allows access to data from anywhere in the world where network connectivity is available. In a simpler language, if I give the example of the cloud computing, it is one line file storage like Google Drive, social networking sites such as Facebook or webmail or online business application, characterized of cloud computing in the on-demand services, board network information access, resource pooling and huge flexibility. So anyone can, any group can formulate it, they can interact with each other, they can share the information, they can upload their files, their reports, and they can develop their business based on the different parties, and it is controlled by someone else and it is available online somewhere else. But unfortunately, this flexibility and process of sharing of resources and services made this cloud computing a favorite space for highly automated cybercrime criminals don't need to do much with the necessary information on the victim's computer. Example, highly sophisticated system has been created for bank fraud. It starts with a phishing email, which phishing also I have discussed thoroughly, that they used to send a link to through the email. Whenever we click that particular email, they can get all the information from the laptop or desktop, from the computer. It's not like that. I mean, now we cannot restrict ourselves through the laptop or desktop. It is the all sophisticated gadgets. Even smartphone is just a, or tab is just a synonymous to the laptop or desktop. So if the link is clicked, a Trojan or the malware downloaded into the victim's computer, and they can utilize it for the online money transfer. Money is usually transferred to the criminal's account. So this is the effect of the